Good evening, YouTube land. Hello, boys. How are you doing? Ian, Mega Nerd, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
How's the TV program?
What, the Equalizer?
Yeah.
The best show I've ever seen in my entire life. Queen
Ever?
Latifah's really realistic. Yeah.
Sarcasm.
I believe in her.
Ever?
Yeah.
You all right, yes?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good man. Cockney, you all right, my old fruit?
I've managed to have almost 4 hours sleep. I've just downed a cup of tea and I'm just getting into my coffee. I am in heaven, sir.
You up for this?
I'm pumped. I haven't seen it. It's crap. Afghanistan, bollocks. Not very plausible. She was good when she was with Della Soul, though, eh? Mama gave birth to the Soul children. Once again, Queen Latifah is back. Put the gun down. I'll blow your head off. That's it.
Cheers. Demon, you all right?
That's some good coffee.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this picture and just thinking, like, what's someone's aunt doing on this image for an Edward Woodward TV show?
Yeah.
If you think that's bad, when I saw the Roof Doctor, that's exactly what I thought. What is my next door neighbor doing in Doctor Who? That's exactly what I thought.
Hail Cruab.
Yeah, because I live in a council estate, right? And majority of the people that live in my building are black. So she looks like my next door neighbor. So there you go. So absolutely shouldn't be anywhere near Doctor Who, that woman. And this woman here, Queen Latifah, shouldn't be anywhere near this show, The Equalizer.
Do you think all our entertainment on TV and probably movies as well going forward, everyone is now going to be non-white, or preferably black, but non-white, definitely non-white? Do you think it's just going to be completely changed across the board?
This is not a bad thing, the different colors on TV, but it's the way they portraying it. It should be equal right across the board. The white people shouldn't be, because look, you can't have a wrong that equals a wrong. The way they're doing it is completely and utterly wrong. It's the same way that they claim that the racists and the ists were doing it in the past, and they're doing the same thing. It makes no sense. But then again,
2 wrongs don't make a right, 2 blacks don't make a white.
That's right.
And Swap Shop, did you bring Swap Shop? I think is doing an unboxing. Have you got some sweets there?
Ian, do you know what made?
I've got some nuts in my mouth. They're quite tasty.
Hey, who's the lucky boy?
Do you know what made me chuckle, Ian, when I saw this?
What's that?
It was.
That reminds me. I've got some.
It was the when you said that all kind of black films or trailers or anything along that have that kind of rap, kind of street electro music.
Mm-hmm.
Electro,
and it was on this, wasn't it? And I just,
of course, it was.
I just chuckled.
And also, why is the person she's rescuing black? Why couldn't it have been Chinese or white or, you know what I mean? It just stinks of just bad.
It's like they're trying to flip. I mean, you see in the States where the way certain races are the numbers between certain races differ between each other. And I know black populace of the States is really low compared to the whites. It's just the statistic. That's the way it is. But people are trying to brainwash the world into thinking it's actually the other way around, and they're trying to now push the black minority to the fore in everything to try and make it dominant. And the reason why in the past, there was like a token black character in a certain film or TV series is because that scenario portrayed in that movie had it occupied an area where there may not have been that particularly many black people there. So it was representative proportionally to, the ethnicity. And they're just going completely against all of that now. And they're forcing it to be completely artificial and it reeks of it. Everywhere you look now, it just reeks of this artificial racial pandering and pushing one race over another, and everything seems forced and wrong, and you just can't believe it when you see it. It's not in any way plausible.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, but with this show, it's really funny because with this show and with the shows that they're actually bringing out at the moment, it's not representing what life. I mean, it represents life, obviously, every show, but it's not representing it properly. As I said, why can't they try and find the middle with this? Why can't they make a couple of white people good, a couple of black people bad, maybe, you know what I mean, and mix it? Why they're heavily going on the angle that all white men are bad?
It's exactly the same with women. When all women have to be virtuous and they have to be completely without reproach, and you can't criticize the women. Women all have to. And if there are any female villains or any women that are on the evil side of or in an evil faction, they have to be misunderstood or kept down by someone else, probably a man. And it's written that way every single time. Screw the men, but the women have to be. They have to be sympathetic in some way, but the men don't.
Well, if somebody wants to accuse me of being an Islamophobe and I hate women kind of thing, all they need to do is watch the films that I've made in the past, the last 20 years ago. Yeah. I do. I love female leads, totally, but I can't stand female leads like this, where physically and mentally it doesn't make any sense. For her to be, why couldn't she just been a different character? Why did she have to take the mantle of a male character? And we know why, though, don't we? So there you go. I'm not being sexist at all.
It's not aimed at us, though, is it? Really, as you said yesterday, we just have to accept we're not the target audience anymore.
I think you're wrong. It is aimed at us. They're trying to teach us a lesson. They're trying to teach us that this is what life is. They're trying to teach our kids. The kids that are growing up now, that this is the way life should be. But they'll get a big shock when they get out of school and they try to deal with real life. They think that every woman is without any fault whatsoever.
And all tiny women can beat up men like 3 times their size.
Exactly. Yeah. But not only that, every woman in these shows, they don't really make mistakes. They're all, Mary Sue's.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, look, we've got 2 writers and a director here. My personal solution, I'm not even joking, every single character in all my stories is mixed race. Deal with it. So you can knock the racism out the park or up their asses or whatever. This person's going to be quarter Chinese, quarter German.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and then it'll confuse everyone. And then by the time they film it, which would be your job, obviously, Mega Geek, that'll be just a new era of casting. We'll have none of these mono colours over here. Thank you.
I had a look on Internet Movie Database at the reviews, and I think probably the top mark was 2 out of 10, and just absolutely destroying it. Just saying,
because it doesn't make any sense. The story doesn't make any sense. I mean, just by chance, Robin McCall was there when those guys were basically taking her in and we're going to rape her. She was just there. And Alan North, is it Alan? Not Alan North. Who's the guy that said it? He was in Doctor Who, wasn't he? Playing the Trump.
Alan Alda?
No, this guy,
I wonder where I'd seen him before. Yes, he's like the control geezer, isn't he?
He's control,
Is it?
Yeah.
Speaking of reviews, I didn't even know these existed until 2 days ago. Skinny dipped almonds. Almonds, which, by the way, aren't a nut. They're actually a peach pit. Almonds dusted with dark chocolate.
Can't hear you.
And espresso.
You're hijacking the stream, mate.
I can't hear you, mate. You got to speak up a little louder.
Oh, so you can't hear me, and you can hear me, and
I can hear you now.
Both of you. Okay, but he doesn't want to hear me. I'll just shut up then, shall I? I'll enjoy me espresso dusted dark chocolate almonds. Oh, they're brilliant.
Leave me, Sam.
Have you got some light chocolate almonds in there as well? Because we want to be representation of all almonds of all shades and colours.
Yeah, good point. See, they've been fully equalised. They're all dark chocolate, and you know what? They're perfect. They are beyond reproach. They are perfect.
Almonds are great. They're nice.
So actually, very relevant. They are basically the equaliser in confectionery form. So how about that?
Well, I mean, as I said, if I was to review this show, my advice to people is don't watch it.
watch something else.
That's the only review I'm going to give you. I'm not going to give you a detailed review. I'm not going to tell you how bad it is. I'm not going to tell you how bad these fights are. Find out for yourself if you're curious. But my advice, I don't really give out advice, but I'm telling you what I did or what I want to do now because I've seen most of it. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
Yeah,
absolutely awful.
Advice by
two packs in the audience. Hello, mate.
Rappers, packs.
We should have a bet each week, and the loser has to watch and react. Has to do a react interview to Equalizer and Batwoman.
I'm not taking that action.
That's a fate worse than death. That is.
Certainly.
I'd rather put me nuts in a grinder.
Do you think, Ian, this is going to last more than a series?
It's hard to say because I got the feeling that there's an organization that's supporting these shows because all rights Batwoman should have been off, shouldn't even had a second season because the first season really tanked badly, and same thing with Discovery as well. Discovery tanked really badly, yet they're saying it's coming back for a fourth season. I couldn't believe they came back for a third season, to tell you the truth. So you never know with these things, you never know.
Can't believe they made a pilot.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how awful American TV is at the moment.
Generalization on 11/27.
I don't know. As I said, Alien Resident we're enjoying. That's American. And what else am I enjoying?
You got two dicks. He's good, isn't he? Don't we just?
Yeah, he's really good in the show. I don't know. Look, I've been watching a lot of old shows lately because there's really nothing to. I'm finding there's nothing to watch. All the stuff that's on. Also, have you ever done this, guys, where you're on Netflix and you go, right, I want to watch something, and you keep flicking and flicking, and half an hour later you go, I'm going to bed. Have you ever experienced that before?
That's the entire night's viewing that you had allocated for that evening has all been spent browsing.
Yeah, browsing, trying to find something to watch.
57 streaming services, and there's nothing on.
No, well, there is a lot.
I missed the trick on the.
What's that? Go ahead.
I'll show. I missed the trick on the English TV, our cop show special. I missed a classic. Remember
video
Monkfish,
for that.
CID. Yeah, Monkfish.
Oh
CID.
yeah, Monkfish. Yeah.
Right,
yes.
Put your knickers on, make us a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I love that, man. Fast show is legendary.
Yeah.
No, but
movie.
I was just saying, right, there is lots of stuff to watch, but the reason why you flick so much is because you're wondering whether you should allocate your time to the ones that you're considering. And that's what takes it out of you. After half an hour, you're still considering it. You just go, oh God, I can't take this. I want to go to bed. Or what happens is you start watching it, and then 6 minutes later, you wake up and 2 hours has gone, and you fell asleep halfway through it. Do you know what I mean? So those are the two things that happens to me anyway. Don't know about you guys, but I mean, I don't know, mate. TV's very different now.
Because at the moment, obviously, you've got the Equalizer, which is female driven.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Clarice.
Yeah, but that got a bad review as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
apparently.
And that's female.
Obviously,
Discovery, which has just finished.
Discovery.
Yeah. What other kind of?
I'm so glad I don't have Netflix or any flicks. I'll tell you what I've just ordered in the post though. Do you know what I've got coming in the post now? Blade Runner in 4K, the final cut. Not just, and two more books on Blade Runner.
Well, have you got a 4K player?
No. Details.
All right, you'll do with that.
By the way, right, I didn't know this, Cockney. If you are going to buy a 4K player, it has to match the TV. Has to be the same make as the TV. I did not know this. Keith told me this. Yeah, because sometimes the 4K player doesn't talk to the TV, so it's best if you get the same make, and make sure before you buy it, it's compatible to your TV.
The front door. Thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
You might have just saved me $600 or whatever it's going to be.
The only thing is that before all this started, you can go into a shop and talk to someone about it, a guy. But now it's all Amazon, isn't it? And you can't talk to anyone.
We have got a local electronic shop.
Well, you have.
No, but that's the thing. I'm making a point of supporting them, even if they might be slightly more expensive. Not that they necessarily are, because they're independently owned. They're like the last independent electronic shop on the planet. And I'm gonna, there's a fridge this week, 4K player next week. and a kettle. So yeah, support your fuck Amazon. Go to at least eBay is a network of other independent shops. Boycott. That's why every day you'll notice I'm tweeting boycott Amazon, fuck bozos, and atting Jeff Bezos till he gets the fucking in. No Amazon, leave it. Amazon streaming, bollocks. Amazon delivery, fuck off. Don't give that slaphead any more money. Sorry,
No, support small businesses, mate. That's
exactly.
what you want to do.
Yes, that's the positive. Give your money to your local independent shop, and if you haven't got a local one, shop online and find.
We've got an
independent
Argos
shop.
in the UK.
Yeah. Well, we
That's the
used
same
to.
too.
It's all stopped now, isn't it?
We've got an Argos opening up in our Sainsbury's. That's weird.
Yeah, it's all the
What?
same. It's all the same company, isn't it now?
Yeah,
Is there a
yeah.
coffee shop in the Argos?
There's
no,
a coffee
yeah.
shop in Asda's. There's loads of coffee shops in Asda's, but all shut though. Bloody shut.
Yep.
Nesting
So-
dolls of closed shops.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
Getting-
figure out what that was. A strange shaped window behind her in that image, and I just figured out what it was.
What was it?
Equals.
What is it?
Yeah,
Equals.
What?
Oh, clever.
Equals. Can you see the equal sign?
So the shows that are happening this year is Batwoman, which is a complete failure. Then
Yeah.
you've got WandaVision,
Hard.
which isn't too
Hard.
bad.
Which is not bad, yes.
No, it's not
Alright.
too bad. Mandalorian, which I really like.
Boring.
I kind of liked it. We got Discovery, but we don't want to talk about that.
Nope.
Flash is coming back. Went complete woke, so I stopped watching it after season 4, I think.
Gordon's alive.
Yeah, not that Flash.
Damn.
Yeah. Then you've got what else have you got? The Expanse, which I haven't watched first season, but a lot of people like it, and they say it's gone woke. What a surprise!
yeah.
Cobra
Last
Kai.
season, well, this most recent season. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Cobra Kai is
It's the
quite
last
good.
bastion of toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
support it. Every show that brings back an old franchise or it just has to follow the Cobra Kai template, and you're going to be successful.
Yeah, another show that I really like. I'm scared that it'll go woke. I don't know if you heard of it. It's quite small, but it's quite successful.
Peppa
It's a
Pig.
show called Barry. Have you heard of it? Barry.
No,
Barry.
Basically,
Uncle
the,
Barry.
right. So this is the premise, and I recommend it to everyone. This show was before everything went woke. It's basically about a hitman who is assigned to kill an actor, and he goes into the theater, and he's mistaken for one of the actors that are being taught by a teacher, and they tell him to go up on stage to do this scene. And he's terrible, but he kind of likes it. So now he wants to quit.
Deal with Kurtzman.
Yeah, now he wants
Oh,
to
right.
quit being a hitman, and he wants to be an actor.
Theft.
It's really good. It's really look. It sounds
That's
weird.
called Barry.
It's called Barry, and it's fucking fantastic. I swear.
Uncle Barry.
Listen,
B-A-R-R-Y.
listen, and it stars that comedian. He's on Saturday Night Live. What's his name? I can't remember. Bill
Jim
Hayden.
Belushi.
Bill Hayden.
There you go in.
And it's really good, really good, and I
From,
recommend it.
Yeah, 2-pack.
Matt, I recommend it, pal. It's really good. It's been 2 seasons so far. They stopped because of COVID, and I recommend both seasons. It's really funny. It's a comedy, and it has some really serious moments in there. And you really feel for Barry because he wants to get out the game, but people keep creeping back into his life. I'm doing the hard sell here. But I'm telling you, if you watch this show, you will not regret it. It's got the Fonz in it as well. So there you go. It's got the Fonz, man. Yeah, he's the teacher. He's the acting teacher that teaches all his students. It's
Jumping a
absolutely
shark.
awesome. Well,
well, that's good. That's a good recommendation. I'll stick it on the list, mate. I've got a
Yeah.
ever increasing list on my phone because people always recommend stuff to me when I least expect it, and I never have a pad and paper out, pen and paper out with me whenever I get anything, and I just forget it. So I've got this list. There's about 100 things on it at the minute I've got to watch. So I've just added it to the list.
You know what we do? I like to. I got the idea of using YouTube as a notes software, which is a bit excessive. But basically, we should do a video just listing 50 things you got to watch, and you just don't worry about pen and paper.
Just do it in the chat. Just do it in the chat.
There you go. So basically, Rebecca Gold, Bad Day, and some other things. That's my list.
But Matt, if you want it, I've got it on a drive somewhere. The whole of season 1, so I can send that to you if you want.
I'm all right. I think I'll be able to stream it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
I should be able to find it. Yeah, if it's already available, it'll be on my streaming stick.
Yeah,
thing.
it's
Can
really
someone send me-
really good.
Can someone please send me Expense season 4? I have paid for it. I can't watch it, so I think that gives me the moral right to get it. Someone send me a stick care of Cockney Spock, New Zealand. It'll get straight. Or just put Wanker New Zealand. It'll come straight to me.
New Zealand wanker on the envelope, and then everyone knows who that is.
Exactly, go straight to Cockney Spock.
So just going back to the Equalizer, not needed then. Just
No, I wouldn't recommend it. It's awful. It's an awful show, and it's the premise is stolen from an equally better show and a better movie, and this doesn't even come close to any of those brilliant adaptations of the same thing. So, that's my last word on it, basically.
It looked like it was kind of produced well. Yes or no? But
of course. What do you expect from an American show? It's very polished, but it's just the content's absolute bollocks. So, what can you say?
Yes, I was. I thought we'd just kind of go through these, to compare the three.
Oh,
that looks a bit more dangerous, doesn't it?
Are you talking about the original? This one wasn't too bad, right? But I still think that the TV series was much better. And I can explain why I think it's better than the movie. The reason why I think the TV series is better than the movie is not because of Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington brought a different spin to this version of The Equalizer. Yes. But the reason why Edward Woodward's version works so well is because it made sense. He was an older chap. He was out of the CIA. He was very, very, very distraught about the things that he knew and the things that he'd done. So he wanted penance. He wanted to do something good for other people. And that's what he did, basically. And he used his skills, and it made sense that he wasn't jumping around or anything like that. He wasn't doing cartwheels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They did the action that Edward Woodward did was purely, done in a way that you believe that he's doing it. You know what I mean? He wasn't, as I said, he wasn't taking on 10 men or anything like that. He was, it was done in a way that it's believable for a man of that age. Plus, I love the fact that you can't operate and help people with no money. And McCall had money. His apartment, the way he dressed, it was impeccable. The car that he drove, which was the Jag, very expensive in those days. And New York was obviously the setting, and it looked brilliant. The way they shot New York, it looked brilliant. Plus, you had the awkwardness of Stuart Copeland's music, and it really did make a difference for that show.
It did, mate. It did.
I'm talking about season 1 and 2 now. I'm not talking about other seasons. Just kind of fell off the shelf for the other seasons. But the season 1 and 2 is absolutely brilliant. And I do like Denzel Washington's version as well, because they took it in a different angle. To the TV show, and it wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't a great movie, but it was entertaining.
Yeah,
and if you could be entertained in a cinema and put your brain away for 2 hours, then all the better. That's what I reckon. Anyway,
what Cruel is saying there about characters being able to be expanded a lot more on TV. You can definitely see that in the case of what's going on with the MCU and WandaVision, where you've got so much opportunity to spend time with the characters and have a lot of downtime and exposition going on, whereas the movies, it's just going from one set piece to another, really, isn't it? And everything's on a treadmill at top speed, and the TV series has a lot more of an aspect to it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, TV series have more hours, more minutes, more seconds, but there are movies that you do feel for the character, even if it's 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So there are good filmmakers out there that can make you feel for the character in the first half an hour, depending on what's written. You know what I mean? So I did look, the only reason why you'd cast someone like Denzel Washington in The Equalizer, right, is because Denzel Washington, and you don't even have to understand who he is. You know Denzel Washington from other movies, so you immediately warm to him. That's the whole point of casting a star, because it's like a shortcut to you actually caring about the character.
Speaking of knowing from other movies, though, I really, really loved The Book of Eli. That he was
it was good.
It surprised me.
Was that was it was the blind guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, you don't find out he's blind until the end, do you?
A bit of a daredevil, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, spoiler then.
No, there's a little joke, blind guy. I mean, I haven't, but it's a joke and a factual statement.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yeah,
And a factual
yeah.
statements, 2 for 1. I'm trying to information rich. It's better.
I would have got it if I could hear you, Cockney.
I blame the roads. There's a perfectly good microphone.
I heard
and
a
reach,
seagull. Was that a seagull in the background?
No, it's a sequel. No, it's a sandwich. I'm making a
was that
sandwich
you
for the boy.
picking him out?
It could be. I know. There is floor. Can you
I'm
hear
sure
the
I heard
cicadas
a
going?
seagull.
It's possible. Was it like that?
I'm the only one here that people know what I look like because of my avatar. Everybody knows I look like that. But I have no idea what Matt looks like. I have no idea what Courtney looks like. Actually, I know
Just
what
as
Tom,
well.
I know what Ian looks like. So there you go. But
Yeah,
I'm
Just
the
as well.
handsome one. I'm the handsome one.
yeah. We know what Brown looks like because I've seen him on Grindr.
I didn't hear what you said there, mate. You just phased out again.
It was a put down.
Oh,
So
was it? Okay.
No,
See me on Grinder.
That's
All
a
right.
compliment. Depends on how you look at it. I mean,
Well, I
to
never
see you on
heard it.
Grindr-
So...
To see you on Grindr, I'd have to be on Grindr, wouldn't I? Think about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, moving on. No blasphemy. Right,
I
moving
know.
on.
I know.
But what did you think of the TV show and the film, Matt?
The film I didn't see until like years afterwards because I just I think I saw
same
a
here.
review of it when it came out, and the review wasn't kind to it for whatever reason. I think there's plot holes in it and stuff that it quite laid into it, and I kind of just went, nah, it's not for me. Because I really did enjoy the original series. I used to stay up at night to watch that. It used to be on quite late on ITV, and I used to love it. And the first few seasons, like you say, it's not when the film got released. I just thought I'm not sure they're really getting it here because there's only one equalizer really. It's Ewa Woo-Wah, and you can't have Denzel Washington suddenly coming along and taking over as a Yank and trying to take the position. It could be like taking the job from Edward Woodward's character, and they could sort of refer back to that original character, and he's kind of taken the mantle from him, if you like. But it was just a complete reboot, and there was nothing to do with the TV series at all. And of course, then a sequel came out, which I haven't seen at all. But the
It's
original,
not actually the sequel.
the first one, I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't think too much about it. I thought if I don't engage my brain, maybe I'll sit here and enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I did. I just didn't think about it too much. And I sort of breezed through it and thought, well, that was quite enjoyable. I don't quite understand why the original reviewer was so critical about it, but I probably would if I went back and watched it again. But I haven't gone back into it. It's not like my favorite kind of genre anyway. But if I was going to do an Equalizer myself, I'd try and make it as close to the original TV series as possible.
You know what I call it?
Yeah.
If I was going to remake it, I'd call it the Sequelizer.
Oh,
Just a thought.
He goes around making sequels of everything.
Exactly.
But I mean,
It's the rebooter.
it is.
I'm rebooting a sandwich at the moment. There's 2. You're right. There's a prequel.
It is. It's the critics always. If something like, for instance, the critics. I remember the critics slagged off Taken so badly that I had to go and see the film. I remember reading the review on Taken with Liam Neeson, and I was like, this film sounds really bad. I must see it.
Taken's
so I went
all right.
to see it, and I liked it. So the critics just don't get entertainment. They want to see something higher than entertainment. That's where they go wrong 9 times out of 10. So
I've just realised something, which just these versions of the Equalizer reflects kind of like the signs of the times, if you know what I mean. So you've got today, black woman, maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago.
No, when did the Equalizer come out? The last film or the first film? What year was it? Anybody?
Anybody in the chat?
Wouldn't know.
Anyone?
It must have been about
8,
4
9.
years ago. No,
Longer than that.
No, let's just check. Equalizer. Let's
I'd
check.
say it was about
Equalizer.
8 or 9 years ago.
For Equalizer. If you, Mr. Brown, if you show the promotional poster or promotional image for the original TV series, I'm going to get triggered because the logo on it just winds up my OCD when I see it. The way the
2014.
Oh,
2014.
first
there you go.
one.
8 years ago.
let's see the
Wow.
logo.
Yeah.
So, okay, so 2004. So,
And when did the second one come out?
so today,
2018. So what I'm saying is, this Equalizer with Denzel Washington is today's Equalizer. That's what I'm saying. 2018 wasn't very far away, you know, when they made the second one.
Yeah.
So this is the one, the Equalizer on TV is just a virtual signaling version. That's all it is.
So obviously, as I said, Black Woman now, virtue signaling. 2014, 2018, Denzel.
Yep.
And then the original.
Yeah, I love the original.
White man.
Well, it was black there, but yeah, it was white.
Yes, the headlights. Yes. So it's kind of so. Say if they're going to do the Equalizer in say 10 years, would it be Chinese Equalizer or
Chinese
Japanese
in a wheelchair?
You know what? If I
Indian.
Look, if the thing is that I'm pretty sure it was a white guy that created the Equalizer, and quite rightly so, he's white. If a black man created Shaft, why would he be white? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's the whole point of it. And you know, they shouldn't be guilty, or they shouldn't feel guilty that they cast Edward Woodward in the show, because that's who they are. They're white people. And the same thing with the guy who created Shaft. He shouldn't be ashamed that he's got a black, you know, private detective in this show because he's black. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a place.
That's why all my
these
IPs.
things.
Yep. All my IPs are Cockney. Cockney Spock, Cockney Blade Runner. You're right. They're all Cockney. You're right about what you know, isn't it? Cockney Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly.
Cockney Star Wars. Cockney Jedi.
The original is best, though, isn't it?
I think so, because it's like saying Sean Connery was the best Bond. I definitely think Sean Connery was the best Bond. Maybe it's just because he was the first. Maybe Equalizer. I like Equalizer so much because it reminds me of my childhood, and also reminds me of a good time I had when I was watching it.
Well, to be fair, no joke coming in all seriousness, Sean Connery made such an impression on Ian Fleming that Ian Fleming subsequently
changed
made Bond half Scottish. So it just goes to show that a strong actor can actually influence the writer. There you go.
That's right. Yeah. But I mean, as I said, they didn't really need to do this today. They didn't really need to get Queen Latifah and, you know, make her part of this show that was inhabited by men. They could have easily made something else up for her, another vehicle for her, for her talents. They could have done that, but they didn't. So there you go. Was that you, Cockney Spock? I just saw just now.
Yeah, ugly bastard.
There you go.
Tupac says, why didn't they ever make a movie based on the first show? I think because they'd probably left it too long, maybe.
Because TV's different. In those days, they you know, I guess they did make movies out of TV stuff, but you know, I don't know, maybe because like when they finished it, I think it went for 4 seasons. This one, didn't it? Four seasons, I think. You know, by the time it got to the 4th season, Edward Woodward was ready to drop. You know what I mean? So, and also they just ran out of stories to tell, really.
Yeah.
In the Equalizer,
I would imagine 4 years of, well, probably 5 years of grinding 26 episodes out was pretty difficult for his age.
Yeah. Also, but just the concept itself, right? You can't really go far with the Equalizer concept. Otherwise, they tried to do that with the A-Team. The concept for the A-Team, you couldn't really go far, and then they did change the format of it slightly, added a few more characters on it. You know, like what's his name, Robert Vaughn, and that guy with the ponytail and stuff like that. And that's when everybody got disinterested in it, because you couldn't really take that concept any further than it went, if you know what I mean. So, and that's why it failed. That's why those seasons the ratings went down. So, and it's the same thing with Equalizer. You know, once they put him on I remember an episode in the 4th season where he was on a bus in Nicaragua or something, like rescuing children, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So,
stories.
They ran out of stuff, and they tried to change it a bit, and it's like, no, you know what I mean? You can only push it so far, you know.
Matt, anything to say about the Equalizer, the original?
Yeah, can you share my screen?
I don't know. Can I? No.
Your map will blow up.
That'll be the end of the transmission, mate.
But if you want to share a picture, why don't you just send it to him via Twitter? and then he can
Yeah,
put it up
send it to
himself.
Brown or via Grinder.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just open the app. Hold on.
Mr. Swipe right up. Mr.
Well,
Swipe right up.
All
there.
that'll mean is it'll still blow up, but by
No,
using
it
a different
won't.
app.
You should be able to put it in there, shouldn't you? Just like how you did these.
Listen, you can't see the keyboard glowing with the heat.
Oh dear.
Hey, Brown, was it you that sent the message? I'd rather see you in leather trousers. Was that from you?
Probably.
Okay, just checking. I actually still have got a pair of leather trousers from my misspent youth. If anyone's curious.
Still fitting them.
Did they ever
Probably
show? Speaking of the A-Team, did they ever show the last episode of the A-Team?
Yeah, they did.
Why did I always have to play Murdoch?
They did. As I said, people stopped watching it because they literally went out the way to. They thought they were clever. Same thing with Buck Rogers. You remember Buck Rogers? I think it was the first season of Buck Rogers was brilliant, and then they changed the whole format, made it like Star Trek, and they were on a ship traveling through space. Yeah,
that hawk bloke with the feather hair and everything.
Yeah,
bird person.
Yeah,
what the hell was that all about?
A reverse Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it was awful. That's when I stopped watching it.
I like Bird person.
It only lasted 6 episodes.
I know.
I've got it on DVD. Got the two Buck Rogers. Certainly, the pilot of the first episode of the first season is good. It's actually surprisingly good plot. Holds up well. Plus, Wilma Deering, ding dong.
Yeah.
A perfectly good TV show ruined.
Had the tighty flighty flight suit, and I lost Clementine. What?
She's lovely. She's lovely. Absolutely lovely. I remember first seeing her when she was like, you will not deviate from the course. You're a bit touchy. Remember that bit? I thought, whoa, she's lovely. Even when she was wearing a helmet, she looked lovely.
Yeah, and then the next episode during the intro credits, she's all over him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But did anybody catch the movie version in the cinema?
Yeah,
because when they released it, and it's very different to the TV pilot, because they had this James Bond sequence in the beginning, didn't they? Far beyond the world, I know, and it had Wilma Deering in this skimpy thing.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
I've seen it on YouTube since, and you watch it and you just go, "This would never fly today."
Oh, yeah, but it was cool though. It was really cool. And there's a line in it where Tweaky goes, what is it? Hurry up, Buck! I'm freezing my barbarians off. He says in one scene, and then they basically took it out the TV version. He said something else. I was like,
I need to go back and watch this. It'll be on YouTube. I bet you. I'm gonna have to watch it again because that sounds really good. I just tweeted you an image, Mr. Brown.
Yes, just talk amongst yourselves while my computer.
I just tweeted you an image.
It's going to take a week, isn't it, to change tabs on your browser? Oh God.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Carry on. I'm sure we'll get there before the end of the hour.
How about that, Mr. Brown?
No, I'm just saying that TV shows were well thought out in those days, weren't they? Even something as ludicrous when you look back now as Buck Rogers. I loved that show when it first came out.
Yeah, anything with spaceships in it though, I was sold straight away.
But the design of those ships,
fighters,
they were.
Amazing.
I remember having one of them.
That was McQuarrie. Yeah, that was Ralph McQuarrie who did the Battlestar ships and also Star Wars. I mean, guys, absolute.
But they were dangerous, weren't they? Because they had 2 little points.
They had to put the Corgi toy, which was die-cast, which could have been a lethal weapon if they had put like a bar between the 2 pontoons at the front.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they
there would have been kids getting like stabbed in the face and everything, eyes coming out left, right, and centre all over the 70s. If it wasn't for like Corgi having a bit of a foresight to say like, can't release that. What's going on?
Is that what it was with the crossbar?
They put the crossbar in it to make it safe.
But gouging your eyes out.
Yeah,
it was either that or make it out of rubber, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But also, I remember I played Flash Gordon in the 40s black and white one. Yeah, he was in one episode, wasn't he?
He was in the
season 1, episode 2 or 3, I think. Buster Move.
Planet of the Slave Girls or something.
Do you remember? They used to have those
what a
disco
title.
lights. Disco lights.
Oh yeah, the fuel pipe.
Fuel pipes. They were disco lights.
Planet of the Slave Girls. Now, there's a title that wouldn't fly these days.
No. I'll tell you my favorite.
Planet of the angry women in boiler suits.
is the vampire when that space vampire. I thought that episode was really a bit creepy. Do you remember that episode? Anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember it. I'll know if I saw it.
He had
watch it tonight.
white
put it on the
skin
list.
with fangs.
Yeah.
Stereotypical vampire.
It was a bit creepy.
The Vampire Union did write in and say we're tired of being, represented like this. There's nice vampires.
Where's
out
all the
there.
black vampires? Where's all the yellow vampires and the pink vampires?
What about the Queen Latifah size vampires? What about them?
They're all Dan McDonald's.
Chunky vampires. I'll have a steak. No, not that kind of steak. Leave it.
Yeah.
Is this the logo that you were talking about? The Unequalizer logo?
It bugs the hell out of me. It bugs the hell out of me. Look at the state of it. And that was on
That's
TV with every episode as well. And I couldn't help looking at it going, I just want to straighten it out. What's going on with it? Who thought of this?
Yes,
What's wrong with it?
Well,
It's all over the shop.
Yeah. It's all over the shop with the perspective. It's like, just got a copy of Adobe Illustrator.
The cues aligned at the bottom as well.
It's like someone assembled it in a hall of mirrors. What's going on?
Nice. At least they've got the visual pun
bad,
with the equal sign, I suppose. I just noticed that the equal sign in the E.
Well done. I never spotted that. Oh yeah, look at that.
I only spotted that because you spotted the other equals. See, team effort. We are Legion, aren't we?
Like, we are absolutely. We're a think tank of twats.
So,
I think probably a good.
Equalizer was out in '87. And we've just spotted
That's a T-shirt. I'm nominating a T on 4130. A think tank of twats. I like that.
I actually like the Equalizer.
That's the review in the Daily Mirror, mate.
I actually remember episodes from the Equalizer. So that's how much I liked it.
I remember a particular episode when he was training up a protege, and this guy was some American guy who was like struggling to run around and climb up fire escapes and things like that. But it was a long time ago, and that's the last thing I remember about it. And one of the most prominent things I remember about it was when there was some girl that was she was attacked by some guy, and she had to try and identify him. So they did the whole photo fit thing, but they also tried to refit his voice as well. And there was some kind of like space age technology where it allowed him to like synthesize his voice. And this woman was like saying, "Oh no, it's a bit lower than that." And they were like completely synthesizing this guy's voice with this technology. I was watching it going, "Hey, this is the 80s. What's going on? It's not Star Trek."
Yeah.
They still don't have that technology now,
I think one of the best episodes was basically there's this rich family, Chinese rich family, and they were the guys had a little boy, and he was in the park, and these baddies come and kidnap the boy, and they were demanding obviously money for the kid, right? But then McCall quickly found out that they stole the wrong kid. They stole the nanny's kid. And nobody was really bothered about it once they found out it wasn't the rich people's kids. So McCall just walks in with all the police there. He walks up to the woman and he goes, "Don't worry, I'll find your kid." He walks out and he does. So there you go. But yeah, those shows were really great. I really did enjoy them when I was younger.
I still remember to this day. I still remember to this day now. There's one time. There's like this little thing he does when he comes back with this girl. He's not coming back with her, if you know what I mean. But he's like inviting her back to his. No, he's not inviting her back to his place. He's bringing her back there because it's a safe house.
He's a gentleman.
He walks onto the landing outside his room and he looks up and he goes, "Someone's been in my apartment." And he's got like a really simple device of like a piece of sticky tape across his door. And if the sticky tape's like snapped, then he knows someone's been in his apartment. Like little things like that, just stick in my head.
Yeah, no, it's as I said, the first episode was when he was talking to Control, and he was talking about how the filth in New York. Yeah, he was talking about the filth in New York. Yeah, nobody's doing anything about it, and and he just went off on one, and then that's when he decided to become. That's why he decided to become the Equalizer, because he was just tired of, seeing so much suffering in New York, basically. So that's when he put the advert in.
The Buster Crab character in Buck Rogers was Brigadier Gordon.
Brigadier Gordon.
Wow, cool.
Meta reference.
Yeah. Krual Birab coming through with the trivia tonight. The space, he must like Buck Rogers. Space vampire, a Borvon.
God, he is good with the trivia. Good work, Krual Birab. I've got a trivia question for you then. What is Elizabeth Hurley's phone number? Just pop that on the screen or DM me if you can. And,
private message, mate, on that one.
Yeah,
yes.
private message.
And her address as well, if you've got that handy.
Yeah, especially that dress.
45 minutes.
In fact, you could
So
put her.
there you
I'll
go.
tell you what, Elizabeth Hurley would be good in Rebecca Platinum. I think she could be like the boss, the new boss. All right, Rebecca, come in. I've got a mission for you.
So, guys, to finish off, very, very, as we said before, very,
Hey,
very. Stop interrupting you. Very, very happy
All right, then, I
memories
will.
of the Equalizer and Denzel's version. Yeah, okay.
I didn't mind it.
Kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This new one.
Once
fuck
again,
knows
Queen
why.
Latifah is back. Mama gave birth to the soul
Just-
children.
God knows.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's what's happening today, and everybody should avoid it like the plague, which they have actually, because this episode played after the Super Bowl, and it still failed. Usually, after the Super Bowl, people are drunk and they just watch anything after the Super Bowl. But even after the Super Bowl, this Equalizer failed abysmally. So there you go.
Is it coincidence that most of these really shit programs seem to be on CBS?
You know, it doesn't matter what channel it's on. It's so morally wrong to do something like this, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very wrong to try and teach the world that girls are infallible and white men are horrible or evil.
White man bad.
Yeah, it's so wrong. It's wrong. So
it's like it's like anti-Japanese propaganda in the Second World War, isn't it? It's just demonizing an entire group of people.
That's what it's doing.
Completely immoral.
It is. So, you know, I mean, as long as we don't you know, support it. That's why I'll never support something like Discovery, and I don't understand why people are. If they still don't get what's happening around them, then they never will, you know. So there you go.
I can't believe they're making another season of it.
Well, they say they are. Who knows?
They always say they are.
Exactly. Never confuse a memo with reality. We don't know. I mean, they probably are, but yeah, exactly. Let's worry about the crap that has been made. I mean, I'm still waiting for June Buggy. When's that coming out?
June Buggy.
Well, June, but it's buggy because it's not coming out. You know, Denis Villeneuve. You know, Denis, the excellent director that can't please anyone.
Right, okay.
And James Bond, No Time to Stream. When's that coming out? That's in the can. See, all these things.
I saw a picture on Twitter with Craig. They obviously did his face.
Craig,
and he was really old.
Yeah, that was piss funny.
This is Craig at the premiere of James
About
Bond.
92, yeah. That was
really
piss
gonna
funny.
go
That.
But there you go. There's films that actually finished in the can that aren't coming out. So let's not worry about things that actually haven't even been filmed yet. Know what I mean? Now, Rebecca Platinum. That's what I want to be hearing about. When's that coming out?
Well, what did you think of it then? I guess I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Wow, it was a very strong finish. I mean, spoiler alert, but a lot of motherfuckers got clipped. And then, but, you know, I was watching it, and it's, when you're watching a story, you know this can't go according to plan, because if it went according to plan, you wouldn't have a story. And then, pizza delivery. Fucking hell. There's a lot of tension in 5 minutes. I loved it. I'm back for episode 2. I hereby commit to another 5 minutes.
There you go.
Which is more than that's
Gonna
more
have to
than
wait for it.
Meanwhile, Tenant is and landlords is grabbing dust on the shelf, basically.
That's
I'm not
Tenet
watching it.
for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, deliberate reference there. Sometimes it can be stupid deliberates and people don't know, but whatever, I don't care. But yes, gathering dust on my shelf. I'm not watching it forward or backwards because Rebecca Platinum has got my attention.
But you know what? I dared to go there, didn't I? I basically had a female protagonist who is at fault. I had a black guy that was evil. Oh my god, a black guy that's evil!
How dare you? Obviously, I didn't notice anyone's color, of course, but yeah, quite right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you know that's what I'm saying. So I dared to go there. That's what I did. So
a stupid pizza delivery girl, an imperfect woman, and the pizza was cold, and it had blood on it afterwards. I mean, I'll send that back.
Had a hole in the box.
Bloody.
What?
Exactly. There's a bullet hole in my pizza box.
I have no idea. There was no pizza in the box.
I like to think
Not ham and pineapple or anything.
Pineapple. I like to think it's pineapple.
No. I
Anchovy.
think God was joking when he made pineapples, in my opinion.
No, pineapple
Definitely.
pizza.
Pineapple's nice.
I'm having pineapple pizza right now, all day, every day, just to wind
Do you
people up.
remember
All and more for me.
cheese and pineapples on sticks? Very
Yeah,
70s.
I remember that. That was
Love them.
when we went to, remember when they used to have house parties where you went and you spoke to people and danced to music. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No,
That was cool.
Yeah, you
no.
met girls in real life. Oh,
That's right, yeah.
I had a weird dream that we had a Lonely Love Hearts chat online, and then I checked on YouTube. We fucking did, didn't we? I was in my sleep for that. I can't believe I confessed my Jessica.
Do you,
story
you
coming
You're sleep
through.
streaming, mate.
Do you guys
sleep
remember
streaming.
Watney 7? Watney
Who?
Is
7.
that's my
Party
cousin.
Watney 7. Do you remember that?
I don't.
No.
Okay, right. So basically, Party Watney 7 was this big tin. It was huge, and it had like 9 pints of beer in it.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember seeing it myself, but I saw adverts of it.
Every party I went to in the 70s, they had a huge, like 10 tins of Watney 7 cheap
Oh
beer.
yes, I remember now.
Cheap beer.
Papa
Yeah.
is showing his age there.
Oh, well, you know, I've got to talk about the things I found amusing.
70s, you would have been 14 maximum. Even for you, that was a bit young. You should have been in your bedtime.
Well, you know, when they used to have parties, and my dad and mum used to have parties, obviously we were allowed up to a certain time, then we had to go to bed. But even when we went to bed, we couldn't sleep because it was so loud. So, you know, you'll just in your bedroom, you see all these shadows walking around and people laughing and getting drunk. And, you know, my sister
Coming
would
in
go
your
and
room and having a snog.
yeah. Well, my sister will go in the room and she'll nick the pineapple sticks and, you know, and then bring it into my room. We'll stuff our faces, you know. And
Oh, I used to love party. And 70s party food was just the best ever, wasn't it?
they
I
were.
didn't know.
Fondue set.
Cocktail
Oh,
sausages.
Stick it in my mouth.
melted
Remember
cheese. Give me that
Twiglets?
fondue.
Twiglets, remember them?
Oh,
Twiglet.
Twiglets.
Yeah.
Spicy.
I don't eat Twiglets. They make me violent.
Yeah. Oh, space reference. Brilliant. Hello, Slugger. Oh, beautiful. Oh, you just made my day there, Swap Shop. Space
And when-
reference.
go,
Ellen
when they-
Mann, really good.
Oh, Brian,
two-
you came.
Two packs in with a novel. I won't do the accent. Oh, CBS spends 90% of the show's apostrophe missing, show's production time just trying to tick, see missing, boxes and cast disabled, plus diversity hires everywhere, and they don't even bother writing a story, lowercase t. They just celebrate improvisation and cry. Well, that's a B- for punctuation, but A+ for making a point.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's the way it is today. You know, we don't own those IPs. All we can do is just not watch. That's all. You know, that's just the
Make a
power.
career out of slagging them off. Exactly.
Well, I
Not
mean,
watch
you know,
them, then moan about them. That's what
I
I
don't
do.
even find, you know, only if I'm on a show like this and I'm asked, I'll say what's on my mind. But you know,
What's on your
after
mind,
this-
Ian?
I mean, you just asked me about the Equalizer, and I told you. But after this, I don't even think about things like this when I'm working. I don't. When I'm with, you know, my family and stuff, I don't think about things like this. Why should I? You know, it's just
Exactly.
crap.
I'm enjoying coming on the show, talking about shows that I've not even seen. I can clearly bluff my way through half an hour if I let you guys talk as well.
Well,
Brilliant.
we watch them so you don't have to.
Exactly. No, I appreciate it. And I still get to come on the show. Job's a winner.
I was going to ask Matt about Gina Carano's going round again today.
Gina. Yeah, where's
just
all the
keep-
Gina?
Isn't she?
Yeah, they're just like randomly. All it takes is for one of these blue-haired land whales to just accidentally hashtag her name, and then everyone just piles on and goes, "Oh, Gina's at the bottom of this. Let's all everyone come on, jump on top." And you know they just go for it, regardless of what the subject's about, regardless of anything. It's just like they just want to hate her, and they don't actually
Blue-haired
realise
land
what
whales.
the original thread was about. And this time, apparently, I only found out like an hour or so ago. It was to do with her posting something on social media about warning people of, you know, the dangers of the Nazi Party. And I think she was, I don't know what the actual image was, but it's kind of like a warning that she posted it. She's against whatever this image is. And they just immediately, all they did was put two and two together and made 20, right? And they saw Nazi, they saw Gina Carano, and that was it. And basically, they just had a free-for-all after that. It's just like, fire Gina Carano, fire Gina Carano. We don't care what it's about. Just fire Gina Carano. I saw a Nazi. Fire her, fire her. And that's all it is. and just absolute imbeciles. They don't know what they're doing.
And this is all because she put beep boop in her pronouns, basically. Is
Originally,
that where it all stems from? That and
thing
she's
is, there
not
was
wearing masks.
Yeah, the NPC meme is like this grey sort of person that is emotionless and
Badly
sort of
drawn boy.
yeah, and just cottons on to any kind of trend without even thinking about it. And the NPC catchphrase is beep bop boop because they've got a machine brain
Right.
easily programmed, you know. So she's kind of going against these people forcing her to how to present herself on social media by sort of indirectly saying you're an NPC by saying my pronouns are beep bop boop. But they didn't know that. They're too stupid to realise that. It's too stupid to see the nuance in it, right? So they automatically just read it as an insult. And even the word, the words beep, bop, and boop are not insulting to anybody apart from maybe a robot themselves, right? Or R2D2 possibly. Well, they probably actually quite enjoy it. But they just assumed that it was some kind of insult, even though they didn't understand it. And they've just dragged it out ever since, saying that it's humiliating and offensive to trans people. It's like, how do you equate the words beep, bop, and boop as being offensive to anybody in any way?
What?
Yeah,
it's just it's ridiculous, isn't it?
I'm really surprised how much you've gotten into it, though. Just leave it, mate. That's all I can say. What is the point?
I had a look at some of the tweets before I came on, and
I'll tell you what, though.
It's shit.
But Brown, make sure you put a Gina Carano hashtag when you're putting the show out, because then you're going to double the viewers. We'll get at least.
Oh yes, yeah, I will do. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah,
because in fact, I'm shipping Gina and 3PO. If they come to New Zealand, I can actually. Did I tell you that I'm actually legally ordained to be a priest? That's not a joke. I actually am. I've got the card and everything. Because and you're thinking, what the fuck religion was going to allow Cockney Spock to be a priest? It is the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I kid you not. You can check on the interwebs. There's only 3 countries, silly enough to. All with dope smoking prime ministers, could be coincidence, that have gone, yeah, we'll go with that. Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. So I'm in. I'm a pastafarian. And I'm legally, I can get the card and put it on screen. I'm legally, with the power vested in me by the Prime Minister of New Zealand, I can marry people. So I'm shipping Gina Carano and 3PO.
Drunk 3PO, not C3PO.
Yeah, drunk 3PO.
Tupac in the chat. One person has already been arrested for a meme.
Jesus,
can you believe
that?
Yeah,
what's that about?
How can you arrest someone for posting an image? I mean, unless it's like, extremely offensive or something, that shows child molestation. I don't know what. Maybe that person would be suspect and could probably be fined or taken into custody and questioned or whatever. But arresting someone just for posting a meme, just because, and the reason why this has happened is just because someone just suddenly decided to find it offensive, even though it probably wasn't offensive to anybody. Not one person.
It's happened in New Zealand as well. People getting arrested just for posting on the interwebs. It was really big. And that, do you know what? That's a dangerous thing. You've actually summed it up right there. Because then people will assume, well, it must have been something really bad, and it isn't. And that's the whole thing. The overreaction then tarnishes the original post. And exactly right. So unless it is something truly awful, that's the world that we live in. So it's happening here too. So. This is not a joke. I'm warning you people that if you post, basically, if we post a bad review of something, the flying squad are going to be coming through the window, basically. So watch out. Not a joke. No joke here, people. This is not a joke. This is actually happening in our world.
No bad reviews of Discovery, or you'll be arrested.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is why you got.
That's where it's going to end up. Yeah, just complete censoring of speech and people's opinions. That's going to be hate speech, and it will be outlawed. Just your opinion will be outlawed online.
It's happening before our eyes. Like I say, I know I'm Cockney Spock with a bit of jolly banter, but there's no joke here. I was literally born in a fascist police.
Are we becoming a fascist state?
I hope
everywhere.
not.
Arrested for basically saying something on the internet. I mean, next time you put a review on TripAdvisor, you're going to be fucked, aren't you? That's it. Everyone's going to start self-censoring.
The brown shirts will be coming round and knocking on the door.
Is the UK turning into the Great Britain that was in V for Vendetta?
Yes. The short answer, yes. It's not a joke, people. That is why, by the way, people are wondering, Cockney, why are you so fucking deliberately annoying on the internet? That's why, because I refuse.
Yeah,
to
why are
self-censor.
you deliberately annoying on the internet?
That's why I'm teasing the authorities because I'm sick of this. I was literally born in a police state. I'm not, and so I'm seeing the slowly boiling frog. It's fucking ridiculous.
Cockney, our friend Sir Charles Walker has been interviewed again today. You know, the MP.
MP, yep. The MP that wrote back to you.
Sky News, yes.
On the hour.
Sky News interviewed him about all this stuff that's going on over here about people. Basically, they're not allowed to go on holiday this year, or they'll be, if they kind of go on holiday or falsify things, they can effectively get up to 10 years in prison for going on holiday because of COVID.
10 years for going on holiday? What?
Yeah, I don't know the full story about it, but basically the government has said nobody should be booking holidays abroad this year. And if you do, there's going to be consequences. And Sir Charles Walker just basically lost his fucking shit on
as well.
On Sky News. Saying the government is just taking all people's hope away, and it's just we are a fascist state, controlling movement and saying that if you go on holiday, you could get up to 10 years in prison.
Crazy, man. Jesus.
So he lost his fucking shit, and the guy truly is a man of the people.
There are a few of them. There are a few.
So Charles is conservative. Yeah, he was basically slagging off the health secretary and his aides, just saying they've just lost the fucking plot. And it's the world we live in today. It's
Mr. Brown. I've just sent an image through to your Twitter. It's relevant to this subject, by the way.
Is it pornographic?
Sadly not, but it is slightly more relevant.
Okay, I've declined a call.
Talks amongst yourselves.
All right. Well, I think a call from the garage implies that my tyres arrived, so that's good.
Oh, that's good news.
Tie?
Yeah, my tyre.
Oh,
a round black thing, racist, that goes on my car.
Not around your neck.
No, that's Queen Latifah, isn't it? A round black thing.
No, that's another cross. Round my neck, chance to be a fine thing.
All right,
you're going to get arrested.
Yep.
I'll go to hell anyway, mate. You know that.
Yeah. You'll never take me alive, copper.
So that was the end of The Equalizer. I've just watched all of it now. It's absolute rubbish.
We are the Equalizers.
Rubbish.
So you won't be watching. You're not watching Ep 2 then?
No, not watching an episode 2. Not watching it anymore. It's absolute shit.
Watch it. I'm living it.
Matt, has Resident Alien turned up? Everybody in the chat, you should be watching Resident Alien, by the way.
Not that I've seen, no. I think it's either probably shown in the States tonight, then in that case, because it's only up to episode 3 available at the moment. So maybe later on or tomorrow it'll be available.
Oh, yeah, the Utopia thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth sticking on the screen just for anyone that hasn't seen it.
Utopia.
What's
that all about then? What's that when it's at home?
Just bear with me.
I'll be surprised if you've not seen it, actually, Ian. It's a pretty good TV series.
Utopia.
Yeah.
Is it from another country?
No,
it was remade, wasn't it?
It was originally Channel 4, I think.
Oh, because I watched a couple of episodes of the remake, which is Scandinavian version. No, Scandinavian version. I was watching. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's interesting. Should have watched the TV, the British version.
Yeah. Apparently, it's very prophetic as to what's going on at the minute.
Could be a good watch then.
Yeah.
Right.
But I recommended it to me back then, but I never watched it. Stupidly. There you go.
Oh, interesting logo. Deliberately distressed. Nice. Sans serif typeface, explosive background.
It looks like something Channel 4 would cough up as a graphic.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Channel 4 has this identity, and I just don't like it at all.
No, I hate it. I've always hated it.
Yeah.
So postmodern. No, you're post-shite.
Have you seen Utopia then, Matt?
I haven't, but I've had it recommended to me, and I now really want to go and watch it after reading this.
Don't
Anybody?
watch Barry instead.
I will watch Barry. Don't worry.
Much better thing of your time, definitely.
Barry's like top of the above this in the list, so yeah.
Good.
Is that
So if you-
that woman looks like a
Barry.
Vulcan? Is she a Vulcan? You know, between
I
the
thought that
U
was-
and T.
I thought that was Toby Maguire down the bottom left there to start with.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, I don't-
Maguire mixed with that guy from 24-Hour Party People. No, Human Traffic and Space. Ooh, I
Don't
can't
trust British shows at all. I don't know
Oh,
why. I just
remember.
don't
Another
trust them.
civilization on 105. American
Yeah.
TV bad, British TV
No,
bad.
no, American TV. The best of American TV is better than the best of the British TV, in my opinion. But
Polish
I-
TV, that's what you want. Kozioł Matowick, prime TV.
well, they
that is.
showed my film in Poland, The Killing Zone. Apparently, I was told.
Oh wow!
So
Did they?
Yeah,
Did they translate it as well?
Company's
Because,
interested
they
now.
did,
Yeah,
did, yeah.
my ears are perking up. I can relearn
Apparently.
Polish with it. Because unfortunately, ja nie mówi po polsku. Euphoria. Yeah, they have the Bronski beat small town song. Small town. They definitely paid money to drop the needle almost every episode on the licensed music. All music chat from Tupac Shakur, who knows all about that.
He said Euphoria. I think he means Utopia.
Yeah, Euphoria, Utopia. Oh, I'm in socialist paradise and I'm really happy. Utopia-phoria.
But it says here, it says Utopia is a British television series from 2013 that is about 2013, right? That is about government faking a pandemic so that the government could enforce mandatory vaccines.
Vaccines.
These vaccines end up sterilizing everyone on the show. In the show, the first day of vaccinations is called V Day. Boris Johnson declared the first day of COVID vaccinations as V Day.
Oh dear.
Shit. That's a bit too clear. Once again, a warning from history has been taken as a manual, just like 1984. Oh my goodness. It's not meant to be instruction manual, it's meant to be a fictional warning. Talk about
Ian, have you had
self-fulfilling
your vaccination yet?
Nope.
Neither have I. Matt, no.
No fucking way.
Resist. Correct. Do not.
Are you not going to have it then?
I don't know. I mean, if I don't know if I should. I mean, would you
No
be arrested
way.
if you didn't take it? What's the score on that?
I don't think you are, but there's the ethical thing. They'll try and
They'll,
lay
they'll,
that
yeah,
on
It's
you.
not ethical.
you'll
Anyone
be
with the basic
stigmatised
knowledge.
if you take it.
Yeah,
Anyone with the
stigmatized.
basic knowledge of microbiology knows that a vaccine, by definition, is untested. This is basically the alpha release. It's like with the software. Never buy the 1.0. This is vaccine 1.0. Don't do it.
Developed
Don't
in
get
1
me
year.
started.
Mm,
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
It's not going to happen. Just get a microbiologist on the show. It's unfeasible that it's been properly tested. What about that
Cruel
nurse that passed out?
Birab's mum's had it. My
Mum's
father's had it, and my brother.
My
And
mum's had it.
My
Well,
brother said he was.
My
ill
mum's
afterwards.
controlled by she's
look, I'm not
controlled-
having a government that makes it God's plant
Controlled by the
illegal
government.
and then drugs compulsory. Have this, don't smoke that. Fuck off. I'm going to do the opposite.
There was someone on someone's live stream last week. I couldn't remember who it was. May have been neurotic. I don't know. But there was someone that super chatted in about their mother having it. And afterwards, she'd had all these side effects and she was really ill. And it just had a really, really bad effect on her. And I was just sitting there thinking like, well, yeah, this is what I'm going to expect from a lot of people now. You know, after they take this rushed out vaccine, you don't know what the hell's in it. And it's just been stuck straight in your arm. And everyone's just going, yeah, put it in me, you know.
Today they had some good news, didn't they? Said that the death toll has gone down because of the majority. A lot of people have had the vaccine, so it's kind of made it go down a bit. That's the only good news
I don't know if
to
I
say
believe
to
that. I don't know if
Uncle
I believe
works already. How do they
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like manufactured propaganda to me.
Yeah, I mean, I know more about. In fact, Swap Shop, you're studying maths. I know more about statistics than biology, but it just seems like because that would mean statistically
Mike.
that the difference in numbers is that the people that took the vaccine would have died from COVID.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make numerical sense to me. I'm
Cruel's-
calling bullshit immediately.
Mum has been fine. My father, who's
Well,
92, he had the vaccine. Didn't affect him at all. But my brother had it, who's had COVID. Apparently, he shouldn't have had the vaccine, and he even asked when he was there, and they said, "Oh no, you're all right." But apparently, he shouldn't have. So yeah,
Weird.
and he was ill.
I'm
with the
glad that
vaccine.
I'm glad those people that mentioned are completely fine afterwards.
Yeah,
and
seconded. It's
very
definitely
happy to
good
hear.
news.
Very, very happy
So-
to hear that.
Mum's
let's
okay.
hope that stays.
Yeah.
But no, personally, I ain't taking no stinking vaccine. You can take that to the bank.
I kind of get the feeling that Matt and I will be probably one of the last to get it.
Yeah, I guess.
I just have a feeling.
I just want to suggest to everyone. I mean, you might sort of dismiss it as complete conspiracy theory, but there's a video that I got recommended a couple of weeks ago called "The Fall of the Cabal" on BitChute, and they will never allow it on YouTube because it's just like conspiracy theory madness, and they're just, you know what they're like on YouTube, crack down on anything like that. But over with Dave Cullen and, you know, those other sort of free thinkers and people that have actually got something very important to say that might not necessarily be comfortable to hear. It's an amazing documentary, and it does go on for quite a while. It's like 2 hours or something. But I will send you a link. But it's worth everyone. You know, it's worth everyone watching it, because whether
What's
you think
the documentary again?
It's called "The Fall of the Cabal," CABAL, and you might think it's a bit hokey. You might not believe it, but regardless, you really should watch it because it's a real eye opener. And everything that this woman writes about in this documentary, she backs up with evidence and actually puts it on the screen. Whether this evidence is 100% true or not, I don't know. I can't know. I've tried contacting her online to see if I can speak to her about it, but no response. So, but I do recommend everyone watch it.
Because she's been arrested.
I spelled Cabal again, sorry.
Be objective when you watch it, but do watch it because it will really, really open your mind, especially with things like Bill Gates and his certain foundations and vaccinations and sterilization and things like that. Yeah,
I do not trust anything that comes out of Bill Gates's mouth. That
I would just spell Cabal again.
CABAL. I spell it CART.
Well, they'll get I'll put it in the chat so people can see it.
Yeah, recommended.
Moments like this, I'm thinking, I'm glad we're a relatively small channel, because if we were big, we'd get squashed, I tell you.
Oh, yeah, there'll be a knock on the door now. We've got 6 viewers. That'll be the police. The police are watching.
You don't paid your license fee.
Oh, we go.
God, they got a long reach, haven't they?
Tupac in the chat. You must have seen it. It's 10 parts.
There's one like all-in-one version of it as well that you can watch.
I think I'd be interested to watch that.
It's hard going though, mate. Really is hard going. I'm not hard going as in, I can't watch this, it's boring. Hard going as in, Jesus Christ, you're just sitting there like face palming the whole time because you can't believe what's being told to you, and all this information is real, and you're just astonished by it. I had to keep having breaks and go out into the kitchen and make a cuppa because I was just like, Jesus, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Oh, I'm not going to go into details. It's just too.
Just watch it.
It's too nasty. Yeah, you need to watch it.
I'll tell you what. I'm sorry if people start getting bored of my going on about the fact that I was born on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall. It's just, now it's a part of history. It just seems surreal. But it is, to be fair, we escaped to England when I was 5, so I don't have too many conscious memories. But obviously, I've got what my parents told me. And it's just when you grow up in the country where you know the government hate the people and are against the people openly, it just really changes your mindset. And that's why it's not an alien idea to me. Because the English side of me thinks, Auntie Beeb, the government, the war, the government are the good guys. We're all meant to be one people. But, I'm not going to generalise all politicians, but a lot of them are just a bunch of selfish cunts that will sell out the entire populace to line their own pockets.
Apart from Sir Charles Walker.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to, politician prejudice is still prejudice. There are good politicians out there, of course there are, but a lot of them are just corrupt wankers. They just are. And open your own. Look, no, you're not going to take me alive. But just before they take me off air, just rebel in your mind, people. Just keep sharp. Basically, I'm afraid to say, being cynical. I've got my new philosophy: be cynical, expect the worst. That it's paid off, to be honest. So there you go. No joke here. No punchline coming. Sorry, but I'm just saying, wake up, people. Be woke in a good way. There you go. Speech over.
Be aware.
T-shirt on. Be aware. Just think. Just be open-minded. There you go. No joke. Sorry.
So that all came off the back of Utopia, didn't it? Bloody hell.
Okay, now open the monster there. See, you should have stuck to Grinder, Brown.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Grindr now. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to organise a date.
Have you seen me on there? I'll change your picture because you complained. I'm going to have to get a haircut now.
I'm just going to post something in the chat for the peeps at home that people need to watch.
Topless picture of me? I'll tell you what, dare I say it, for a man in my 50s, I'm in pretty good shape when I hold my stomach in.
Same here.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same here.
I can look good for 5 minutes. And, she's gone.
I've not been to the gym for a year, and I need to sort it out.
See,
I
that's
haven't been for a run in a very long time. I usually go for a run.
One of the great things about New Zealand, it is a gym. Everything's far away. The air is fresh. There's plenty of gardening to do. I've never been so fit in my life. I was a bit of a stereotypical weak-ass nerd, but in New Zealand, you got to dig. You got to. At one point, my wife's going, right, you got to get this chainsaw, chop a tree down. What? A fucking chainsaw? I mean, I wouldn't do it now if I had an accident with a lawnmower, which is yet another story. But yeah, what great thing about New Zealand, it really does toughen you up. You've got to be a little bit physical. It's great for nerd. If you're a nerd, come to New Zealand, it will toughen you up a bit. There you go.
Well, we're all coming to your yard at some point when all this is over.
Well, the garden's getting overgrown because I'm spending so much time in the garage here. So,
do you think series 2 of Rebecca Gold could go international, Ian?
Go platinum?
No, of course not.
I want to get it made. I want 10 grand. Come on, Tupac. Come on, everyone. Come on.
So it would be impossible to go from the garage to New Zealand in 30 minutes.
Rebecca Gold.
Be a challenge.
Rebecca Gold in New Zealand. Exotic locations. It'd be brilliant. Everyone drives on the left-hand side of the road, so you don't have to adjust there.
Do you hear about the news today about Amazon? They're not accepting any more short films or documentaries not made by the establishment.
Wankers. See?
Yeah, so they dropped that bombshell today.
Just when I thought they were the most evil company already, they're even worse.
Yeah, they might be taking certain films off because they think the standards are low, and when people just put their films on there, so they might be taking them off without warning. So there you go.
Your show is better. Well, if I said that your show, Rebecca Gold's better than Discovery, I guess that's not even saying something. But if you're taking the budget, not. 8 grand versus 8 million an episode. I mean, for crying out loud, are you not getting a hint out there? I know you're all listening. Come on, Disney. Come on, everyone.
Rebecca Gold isn't better than Discovery, did you say?
No, I said it's not hard. It's not hard.
Yeah, it's not even. I'm damning them with faint praise by saying that. It's just ridiculous. It's like with our channel. The people, the fewer viewers you've got, then the better your show is probably. Apart from the Equalizer.
Well, it's intimate. Yeah, it's intimate. Yeah, we just need a few more just to kind of, be all right.
As I said, I don't think there's a future for struggling filmmakers now. Or
don't say that. You are.
No, I can. I know. I'm being serious.
I know.
It doesn't look.
I'm upset.
Look. People that are not part of the industry, is not in the circle of the film industry. It's going to be 5 times, actually 100 times harder now than it ever was when I was growing up. So because of all this stuff. It is tragic. Yeah.
Because the reason George Lucas made Star Wars was because he was an independent maker and he didn't go through the regular system that the rest of Hollywood was going through. And, he wasn't a slave to that machine. And if the way of filmmaking is being completely eradicated now, that's a sad day for creativity and for genuinely entertaining and original properties, isn't it?
Well, that's the reason why that's happening, is because they're trying to eradicate, and I hate to say this, free will. And so by eradicating independent filmmakers with their image of what the world is like, that's what they want to do. So it makes sense that Amazon's joined the fold of trying to stop, free speech by stopping independent films on their platform. That's the way I see it anyway. I might be completely and utterly wrong about it, but
I'm afraid you're right.
You are right.
I don't think there's any. This is the reason why I'm not bothered about going to Hollywood. I'm not trying anymore, because I think 10 years ago I realized that Hollywood was a cesspool and it's pointless even going down there. As I said in another live stream, if I got offered to direct a film in LA, I would do it. But I would run away afterwards. Immediately when production is done, I'm coming back to England, man. I don't really like LA.
Cruel Birab, spot on. That's why Hollywood hates Lucas. Yeah. Oh, Tupac with another essay. Someone else can read that.
I see a future of non-onion jobs like grips and Best Buys and cameras, etc., and the availability and pricing to make a film at a all-time low Sorry, I've thought that up.
At
Sorry,
an
boys.
all-time low, we are going to have a bottle of non-authoritarian content. Oh, that doesn't sound like a nice drink,
We
does it?
we had a discussion with. Do you remember the discussion, Cockney, with Commander Culture about how the media? We disagree with what. Yeah, with Stig, we disagree with what Trump did towards the end of his presidency, but the media, basically, in a nutshell, silenced the supposedly the most powerful
man in the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the
and
media.
They did it openly. That's the thing. They've shown their hand. They've done it openly.
I don't think the Americans have kind of put two and two together on that yet.
Well, if they couldn't tell Paul Van Hooven was taking a mickey out of them, they surely can't tell their own government and their own networks are basically against them, can they? You know, that's how slow they are. Let's face it.
I mean, to be fair, that is why Commander, because I did check out the first of his videos, and it was quite a rousing speech. I think Commander Culture is spot on, basically. He's a true rebel, true free thinker. So if you're out there, Commander Culture, shout out.
He's a very intelligent bloke. He's going to be on Friday lunchtime.
Problem is that people are not listening. The people that have the power, they have too much power, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets any better. That's what I think. But I hate to say that. I don't want it to go that way. But
no, you're right. It will get worse. But I think after it will get worse, it will get better. I mean, it's basically. Do you know what? When I was growing up in the late 70s and early 80s, watching all these dystopian films, there's a bit of me thinking, I think this is what the future is going to be like, and it fucking is. We're living in the. This isn't like an open world Philip K. Dick novel that we're living in. It's ridiculous.
It's true.
But it is exciting.
Tupac in the Tupac's got it spot on. That's the old guard which you referred to as the media.
The old guard.
And then next one is Facebook, Twitter. These are the main platforms now.
The mainstream platform.
Well, the thing is,
mainstream.
I'm on Facebook, but I don't really. I put up things for my relatives, but I don't really stay on it anymore now. I find that a real pain.
I was off it 10 years ago. Never missed it once I was off.
Yeah, sometimes for work though, I have to be on it, and sometimes friends that live in another country, that's the only way to communicate with them.
That is one of those things. But this, for me, being so stubborn, I just cut my nose off to spite my face. And I did miss out on a few contacts, but ultimately, it was worth it. Yeah. Isn't it just? But no, seriously, that's my advice because I've done it. Ditch Facebook, take the pain. Because Burnett, one of my favourite channels, he's got a lot of stuff going on Facebook that I'm missing out on. But you got to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Download your data, close it.
I'm thinking it goes back to MySpace, to be honest.
There you go, MySpace.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Couple of days.
Is it still going?
Ditch Facebook.
Yeah.
Everyone, I command you on the daily now. Everyone, ditch Facebook. Do it right now as I speak. All of you. Everyone, no excuses.
Mass exodus would be great, wouldn't it?
Teach them a lesson. Make it go past the tip. Same with the license fee. Because that's it. We can moan all we like. They don't care. It's only when we start ditching these things they're going to start taking notice. Hit them where it hurts, in the wallet. It's the only way.
Listen to money, don't they? That's it. They don't listen to voices. It's just money that speaks. That's it.
Exactly.
Money's not that important, though. If you have enough to survive, then that should be enough. You know.
If you got enough of tea, sugar, and milk, you're all right.
Look, life is. A lot of people say, "What's life? What does life mean?" And I can tell you what I think it means to me. I think it means I was born to create, and that's what I do. And if I can create, then I feel happy, because you can't be happy every day in your life, but you can find small pockets of happiness.
Nice.
And that's what I always look for every day, to do something that makes me smile every day. And if you can achieve that, then I think that's the best that anyone can do, really. Let's face it.
Living your best life.
Yeah.
Creativity involves free thinking, doesn't it? You know, and you have to wonder how long is it going to be before free thinking is enforced, you know? And any creativity has to be kept within certain boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
And, oh God, you should have thought of it.
And then I realized that it wasn't money. Money's not the goal, basically. It's creating is the goal, and money just helps me get there. That's all. So now I make money to actually create.
That's
I'm
why
not
we
really
need
bothered.
Money is only hard when you don't have any.
Yeah, that is true, right? But you know what, Ian? I think, right, seriously, I don't think there's no problem you can't get out of. You just got to figure it out. And I know it sounds cruel, and I know it sounds like
yeah. I agree with you, mate. I would say I'm probably in the position now. There's a little bit of I've got to protect my father, but I'm in a position where I'm able to stay in this position for the moment.
And I'm quite lucky because I come from a huge Catholic family, right? And to me, I grew up believing that family is important, and you know what? It is far more important now than it ever was. And that's the thing, you see. That's the thing. I think that's what they're trying to take away from us is the family values as well as free speech.
Yep. The nuclear family unit. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Unfortunately, I have a sociopath as a father. Unfortunately, sorry, Matt.
Sorry, I was just saying that they're trying to take it away from us in entertainment. They're trying to gaslight us.
That's right.
They're saying the nuclear family is bad and trying to force this new idea. I'm not quite sure what this new idea is, but they're trying to force it, replace the nuclear family construct with it, and they're saying that old way of structuring a family is bad for society. And they're trying to demean men, demean the father, make all fathers absentees and irresponsible, etc. Oh, jeez, yeah.
Well, as I said, it's not going to get any better soon. Put it that way.
Now the pendulum's going to swing back, but
it is. Yeah.
I wonder how far it's got to swing in one direction before it swings back. If it's a bit depressing thinking how far is it going to go? Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? When's it going to be? Am I going to be on my deathbed and finally see it swinging back? It's like, oh, come on, I'm on optimism here.
As long as it does. That's all I can say.
Well, yeah.
It swings back. I mean, I don't know, mate. I tell you, I've got no answers when it comes to life. No answers at all.
Well, you have, but you are out there making films. So, to be fair, that's quite modest of you because, there's a lot of channels that, including mine, I like to just moan about shit. But you are a writer-director.
You're very good at it.
Because even me, I could say I am actually writing, but I haven't finished it. You've actually finished the script and filmed it. I mean, through the French Made movie experience, I know how difficult it is to film something. So, seriously, it sounds patronising when I say it in front of you, but I'm very impressed because you're doing it. So you are. Pat yourself on the back, mate. You're doing it. Keep doing it. Please keep doing it.
Is as I said, right? It's not important, as far as I'm concerned. It's not important to get praise. It's not important to earn a crap load of money. It's not important to be rich. Not important to be part of Hollywood. What's important is you create and do something that you love. I love creating. That's the thing I love. Somebody loves singing. That's the thing they love. Somebody likes criticizing movies. That's the thing they love. Someone likes collecting, like Keith, collecting everything to do with pop culture. That's what he loves. You know what I mean? And acting, of course. You know what I mean? You've got to do what you love. Yeah. Even if it just means you being a father of 3 kids in a family unit. If you love that, do it.
That is something in itself. I made the boy a sandwich earlier, so I was trying to get on. I was quite pleased with my sandwich. That, in its modest way, is a creation. Which kind of mustard?
Creation and destruction in one go.
I created it. He destroyed it. Nicely put.
Yeah, it's just as I said, a lot of people try to try and rethink life and think it's more important. That it is important, but it's not. It's being rich is not the be all and end all, really.
It is to some people, though.
I know.
Cruel Beer Ab with the Chetworth read. Check it out. Someone read out Cruel.
This is the British thing, really. We are very subdued. We are a very subdued lot, to be honest. It's true. People would really have to be pushed to the brink.
Yes.
It'll happen, mate.
But that brink we're at that brink. We're on the brink of the brink.
This is the last lockdown, because if they lock us down again, it's not going to happen. I think people will just fucking riot.
They'll bring out the police, mate, and the army. If they really want to push it, I can see it going that way. I really can.
Seriously, right there, this ties into pop culture. A very important point then, but more so now in Battlestar Galactica. The police and the army are not the same thing. The police are there to keep the population in check. The army are there to defend the nation. And that's why what happened. Did the people in Washington DC not see Battlestar Galactica? Obviously not. When you get the army in to do the job of the police,
which
you
version?
Are getting the reboot, the one where Commander Adama, our favourite replicant hunter. It's basically saying
Yes.
you cannot get
Yes.
you cannot, if you get the army to do the police's job, you are getting a highly trained killing force to control the populace, and that's happening before our eyes. No joke. Again, no joke here coming. This is Battlestar Galactica coming true in Washington DC a month ago. They've got the army on the streets right now. I myself did a cartoon. I can dig it out 10 years ago of a soldier and a hippie, and just bigging up my own silly cartoon, and the hippie's going, "Oh, chill out, man, it's not that bad," and the soldier's going, "I don't know, this is New York," and it's like, I got the wrong city, it's DC. But in the space of 10-15 years, my cartoon has literally come true.
But you know what fascinates me though is basically, this is definitely what's happening now. Has definitely been a think tank of sorts, isn't it? I don't know if you guys agree. I think it's been a think tank for a very long time, and now it's coming to fruition. I don't know what what do you think, Matt? Do you think that's true?
Well, you mean things have been planned for a while?
Yeah, I think it's
instigated. Yeah, yes. I mean, all I can say is watch the fall of the Cabal, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I thought, wasn't there a think tanks many years ago about all this?
Well, there's been a lot of think tanks apparently.
Yeah.
But the question remains is that I want to know if a lot of people have suffered and a lot of people have died because of what's happening in this world. I want to know who was the guy that literally thought of this idea, or the people that contributed to it, because I would really like to talk to them.
Well,
and
that's
see
the irony.
What kind of people they are.
It was
to
George
think
Orwell.
Of something like this.
That's the irony.
Yeah.
George Orwell warning us about it, and someone, because I hear anecdotally, I wasn't obviously privileged enough to be a member of the Stasi, but apparently the Russian Politburo read 1984 and went, oh, we like that, we'll give it a go. Like I say, it's not meant to be an instruction manual. So that's careful when you're writing your dystopian science fiction, because governments might be reading it and taking notes.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't we try that?
Try that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they did watch Battlestar Galactica. Oh, using the army as the police. Let's try that.
George Orwell, you bastard!
Yeah, exactly. the irony, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? It really is.
By the way, on a side note, I always like it when Brown at 45 minutes goes, right, we're wrapping up, and another 45 minutes later, we're still here.
I just
got you again, Brown.
What are we meant to be talking about today, anyway?
The Equalizer.
And
we're all getting
started.
That was it.
But
then we just kind of went down the rabbit hole of this.
Yeah, but the Equalizer doesn't deserve an hour of talk. Do you know what I mean? Because it's absolute shit.
Well,
but we didn't talk about the Equalizer for an hour. We've been. It was probably about 30 minutes tops for all the 3 different versions. We've been talking about this for an hour.
12 hours ago, we went from Death Stars to Love Lines in about 5 minutes, didn't we? I can't remember what the segue was. That's what I find fascinating about it. It reveals what's on our minds.
This is a proper deep conversation tonight.
Always talk. I mean, you can always spin things. The negative is these shows are a bit. Basically, these shows are a bit jazz. And ironically enough, I don't actually like jazz that much. But it's free forming. We're flowing, man. We're just going with it. There's a boundary.
It's the lack of rules that excites us.
Chaos.
The idea was
chaos is a ladder.
Excuse me. I watched the first 20 minutes of The Equalizer, and then I messaged you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then I just thought, okay, let's just talk about the 3 versions of The Equalizer. And that was it. And then an hour after that, we're still talking about all this doom and gloom stuff, which is depressing. But unfortunately, it's the world we're in. It's just so sad.
The thing is that there's a lot of good people out there, and when push comes to shove, I'm hoping that England or will stand up and fight, because Cockney Spock is right. England compared to America, basically England. This is politics in England, right? We have Blair that came in, and we know he's a war criminal, and we go, okay. And then we have Boris that comes in, and he does a lot of shit, and we go, okay. Yeah, it's only when something really bad happens that we go mental, right? Something that affects our lives deeply.
When we get pushed to the brink,
exactly. The Americans now is a different kettle of fish. If if there's something they don't like, they will literally go out their way and talk to their neighbors and literally go and walk, even if it's just a small thing. They really are very passionate about my cousin, right, who lives in Auckland.
Vinny.
No, my cousin Marva, right? She looks a bit like Queen Latifah, actually, but she's very passionate about getting Trump out. And she's the happiest person in the world now that Trump is out. You know what I mean? If Boris was out, I wouldn't be as happy as her.
And she's in Auckland. She should be worried about the Prime Minister here.
We
Auckland.
As I said, going back to our Commander Culture talk the other week,
I'm starting to miss him. When's he coming back on?
Trump came from nowhere, and he didn't have any alliance to any particular party.
Because he was a Democrat at one point, wasn't he?
The left and the right hated him.
Yeah, he went to the Clintons' wedding.
Basically,
his God was money, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was a New Yorker. He's straight out of Queens. He's actually coming
my
coming
point
from
is,
America.
He ran the state as a business because he's a businessman.
Yep.
Avoiding the centuries-old diversive two-party politics where certain people are looked after and other people are left out in the cold, and then 5 years later it's swapped around, blah blah blah. All that tribalism is hundreds of years out of date. It's just fucking shite. And I've always said to the lads where I used to work, two-party politics, it doesn't work, because a system should work for everybody. And I always said Sir Alan Sugar would be the best man to run Great Britain as Great Britain PLC.
You clearly never owned an Amstrad back in the 1980s.
Yeah, I know. That was an example, though. That was an example. Trump ran the US as effectively as a business.
No, you're just putting a band-aid on or plaster on a problem. The problem is politics, full stop. The problem is the system, full stop.
I know that. Yes, I know that.
As soon as they get rid of all that, then we can start fresh and do something better than what those corrupt people are doing. So
I'll tell you a specific thing. The problem is that the US dollar is a fiat currency which hasn't had any gold backing up since 1973. And the only thing that's propping it up is the petrodollar. Boom! Commander Culture, I'm sure would confirm, because that is basically the underlying problem. There is no gold. It's basically that where James Bond, whichever James Bond film it is, when they went to Fort Knox. If it's
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger should be called No Finger. They went in there. Fucking hell, there's no gold here because Nixon abolished the gold standard, and that's why. Amazing coincidence. It's only 2 years later. I don't know how they survived the country in that intervening 2 years. They went onto the petrodollar, which is basically a currency trading monopoly. If you want to buy or sell oil, you have to use the US dollar. It's a bit serious, but anyone that's into these serious politics, back me up.
I will say,
or don't. Try not
during
to deny
the Trump administration, there was no war, and the Democrats, will be good. What's his name? Biden. You mark my words. He'll be going to war.
He already is. They've increased troops in Syria.
Yeah.
They've reversed the removal of troops from Germany.
I think it's worse than this. It's worse than this. Basically, Biden's just in there so we can have a female black president. That's where it's going.
I've got a morbid bet on he's going to be dead in 50 days.
That's what I'm saying. That is where it's going. That is where it's going. And you know what? It might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing. Who knows?
I'm not saying that's what I want. But he's already lost his mind. He's clearly incompetent.
Queen Latifah's going to be in charge of it all.
Absolutely.
Who hasn't seen that? Who has seen that clip where he salute the troops? And that confirms he's wearing an earpiece, telling him what to do and say. Have you seen that? Where Biden hair sniffers going, he's walking through. It's basically where hair sniffers going for a walk with Dr. Jill, and he goes up to the Marines, and someone's obviously putting his earpiece, salute the Marines, and he's just gone, salute the Marines. You know, the clip's out there. Look for it on YouTube. Yeah, just look up Biden hair sniffer, salute the Marines. It's a real clip. So there you go. That just confirms that he's doing everything through an earpiece. I mean, it's like if this was an episode of Doctor Who, you'd be going, it's unrealistic.
Wasn't there something to do with teleprompters during the election as well, wasn't there? There was like something in his eye or something. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah.
Oh, that he was reading because he's clearly not mentally fit to actually string a sentence together himself. I mean, I might talk bollocks, but at least it's coming from my own brain. You know what I mean?
But I mean, you look, I don't care about American politics. I've never voted in my life, and I know that sounds bad, but I've never found anything worth voting for in my days on this planet at all. And I always get told off by people who should vote. You know, it could change that. You know, but I don't believe it. So many years have gone by, and we still got corrupt governments. So
yes.
I would fully endorse voting for Sir Charles Walker if he was up for prime minister, and he's conservative, and I would vote for him all day long.
But he's only one man. He's just one man, though, isn't he? What change could he make? You know, he's literally if he's honest, he's going into a cesspool of dishonest people. How are you going to change that? There's not been one person in history that's changed it at all.
So
it's empathic.
I just, you know, I'm done with politics. I don't even get involved with politics and stuff like that. You know, I just have faith that somebody out there will change.
Yeah.
You know, somebody, you know, there's always someone out there like Gandhi and Jesus and, you know, and, you know.
Big shoes to fill, bloody hell, Rob.
Anyone out there that was born to do it.
Don't you ever look around and go, there's no other fuckers.
It's not us.
Maybe when there's this interplanetary disaster around the corner, we might come together.
Look, you know, Stevie Wonder was born to play music.
COVID not enough.
You know, Ray Charles was born to be blind and play music. You know, Gandhi was born to lead the you know, his fellow men out of that country and kick the English out. There are people that are born to do stuff, and I'm not born to do politics. I am not.
You're born to do Rebecca Gone, mate.
Have you watched Gandhi though? It's an amazing.
It's all right.
Amazing film, and you know, you can watch it as a British person going, yeah, we needed to be kicked out. But then we had partition and the tragedy of India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, which is going on today. But a nice little irony is like my little contribution to world peace and love. I just ordered, because I'm just well into Zulu and Rorke's Drift at the moment. I just ordered my Victorian Army jacket, and it's being made for me right now in Pakistan. So there you go.
Excellent.
Nice.
Is that Zulu the one with Michael Caine?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
that's
it is.
A really good film.
Spot on. I'd like to do a Zulu special at some point. In fact, Zulu and Zulu Dawn. Zulu Dawn was made 15 years later, but set 8 hours earlier. It's a double bill.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, if we ever do a film special, Zulu Dawn and Zulu in that order.
Very nice homage in Starship Troopers to Zulu Dawn.
Mm. You know, Michael Caine had to put that tough accent on, didn't he, when he was there, because they made him do it.
No, exactly. Because ever since then, he's been pretty much playing the Cockney that he is. But exactly, he played a jolly good British. It's called acting, darling. What's it like? Keith, your mate Keith playing Scumbags. It's called acting, isn't it? Just because you're something on screen. That's why people go, oh, if you get General Thrawn, it can only be played by a blue person. See, identity politics, isn't it? Even with accents, exactly. Michael Caine started his career by playing a posh British toff. Good on him. It's called acting.
Oh, sorry. Is Zulu and Zulu Dawn two separate films then? I got
correct. Correct. Yes, Zulu Dawn is a prequel. I've just been researching it because I was confused myself. Basically, there was the Battle of Isal Dawana. I am pronouncing that wrong, and I apologise. Where basically the British got massacred, and then the survivors went back to Rorke's Drift. It was basically Zulus won, British nil, and then after Rorke's Drift, it was 1-1 after extra time. So it's why I've never watched it as a double bill. But
did it go to penalties?
Context. Well, it was. Well, my favourite anecdote: the first British casualty of Rorke's Drift is one of the defenders, or specifically not a regular of the British Army, but a local. He basically threw down his rifle with a couple of his mates and ran. Immediately got shot in the back of the head and killed by the British regulars. Instant desertion, instant summary execution. Damn right as well. Anyway, so
friendly fire.
That's why I got. Except it was deliberate friendly fire. Summary execution. Yeah, friendly fires is when they kill. Well, this is a moot point, I guess. When you're getting killed by your own side, accident, deliberate, you're dead, aren't you? But
it's funny. It's funny when people do things and then years later you realize that they were right. Like, for instance, Muhammad Ali. They thought Muhammad Ali was a coward when he didn't want to go to Vietnam. Yeah, and they
spot on,
arrested
wasn't he?
him. Yeah, he was spot on. They arrested
Yeah.
him. They took
He
his
was a
medal
hero.
away. Yeah.
Because what was he saying? I don't know it verbatim, but I have seen the film of him talking. He's go, well, I've got no problem with the Vietnamese man. Why should I go over there and kill them? I mean, it's just perfect logic, isn't it?
Yeah,
Perfect
it is.
logic.
It is. So there you
Cassius
go. I mean,
Clay
as I
in the
said,
house.
we got to listen very carefully to what people are saying these days because you never know. You just never know. They might be right. You know, that's the thing. So
Yep. Today's villains are tomorrow's heroes.
yeah, I guess.
That's a T-shirt. Make that into a T-shirt swap shop, and I promise not to pay you for it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
And
don't know.
I think on that bombshell, we should finish it there.
Woo!
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. That was a good chat.
1:45. Yeah, I'm
It
pumped
got a
now.
little bit heavy at places, but you know what, guys?
world's heavy.
Genuinely a good chat. That yeah,
Yep.
it'd be
1,000
yeah.
viewers deserved.
Everybody
How
in
many
the
views
chat.
did we get? Let's have a look.
We've had 4 to 6 constants. It's just tailed off the last couple of minutes. So hence
Yeah, I
why.
don't blame him for tailing off.
Yeah.
We're talking shit.
Yeah,
We're talking crap. So it says,
so we do that.
well, you know, when I go into YouTube, it says 4 people are watching, and that probably includes me. That's watching.
Oh,
them,
you
I guess.
bastard.
So if I click on I like this, so you got 4 likes now.
Yeah, go on. Very
So
good.
I've clicked on it. So you've got 5 likes now.
Yeah, I'm
We've
giving it
basically
dislike.
we've got our regulars in the chat. We know who they are. So
Yeah.
Ahead of the curve geniuses.
all I can say, guys, in the chat. Obviously, it's great to have you here as per usual. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. We need some subs. You know,
Yeah, I like share.
we are nothing without
got
you
you,
guys. So all I can say is thanks, guys. Thanks for spending 1 hour 46 with us.
This has been sponsored by Skinny Dipped Almonds, espresso
This has
dusted
been-
dark chocolate.
It's been sponsored by the Equalizer TV series.
Queen Latifah.
Yes, Matt. Cheers for coming on, mate.
No, thank you, everybody.
We should put out this line. We have nothing against Queen Latifah. We actually like her,
haven't.
but unfortunately,
She's
the
brilliant,
show
like
is
I say.
It's the
absolute
material.
bollocks.
It's the material. Yeah, it's the
Queen-
material.
seriously,
It's the
Queen,
material.
Queen Latifah and De La Soul, I'll put it on my standard post-show tweet link today, will be Queen Latifah, De La Soul, Mama Gave Birth to the Soul Children. One of the finest hip-hop tracks ever. And for a lot of people that go, oh, I don't like hip-hop, it's all gangster. No, that's why there's a gangster prefix. There is also positive rap. And so for people that think it's all gangster, really need to hear Queen Latifah and De La Soul. Boom. There you go.
I
have to
wouldn't
say
have
that.
had a problem if she was an original character instead of just ripping something off.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, you can see it from her point of view. You know, she's an actress. They're
Yeah.
offering her money. She might as well do it. You know what I mean? So she did it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Keeps the
But-
lights
but-
on, etc. Yeah. Food on the
but
table.
the-
Blame the Queen.
all the actors that are involved in all this woke stuff, they won't come out. They have to support it because it's money for them.
Yeah.
And you never know,
They've
they
got
might be
to
thinking
learn
the
to-
complete opposite to what they're saying. You never
Yeah.
know.
They might be
because-
acting.
yeah, they might be acting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd
But,
love
yeah.
to be proved wrong on the TV series, but I don't think.
Never
I'm
date
going
an
to.
actor. You never know what they're actually thinking.
I can
Doom
trust that.
Cockney Spock, thank you, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for putting up with my usual bollocks.
And Big Papa Bear over in the corner. Cheers, Ian.
No worries. No worries.
I think next time we'll try and keep it a little bit lighter. So everybody in the chat, thank you for showing up. I'll play the outro and then we're out of here. So cheers.
Peace.